Hello, I am Stephanie Joy, the attorney at All Things Social Security and Joy Disability Law. Your video is about to start. I just wanted to remind you that if you click the join button below, you can learn more about the memberships offered at a very affordable price that can give you a little more direct attorney answers to your questions. Have a great day and enjoy the video. Hey, let's talk a little bit about ISM, in-kind support and maintenance. I know it's really confusing. It concerns SSI individuals, not SSD, or and not Social Security retirement individuals either. So it's SSI, that's a big chunk of people. So let's go over it a little bit. As you know, SSI is a needs-based program, right? So the full amount for 2024 is $943 from the federal government. Whenever we have other money coming into us or ostensibly available to us, we get generally some of our SSI benefit reduced accordingly because the SSI is only supposed to be based on a need, and it's a numerical formula. It's not based on your perceived need for something or someone else's perceived need that's different. Therefore, they should get more than you because they feel they need that more than you or whatever. It doesn't work like that. Obviously, that would not work. That would not function in a program that deals with millions of people, right? So it's a set amount, 943. And so if you are, gifted $300 a month, that 943 is going to be reduced accordingly. It would be reduced by, on the outset, 300, the 300 you get. However, there happens to be a $20 exclusion for the first $20 you receive that's unearned by you. So technically it would be 280, but let's not quibble over that because it'll start maybe getting you a little confused. So generally for every unearned piece of cash that comes your way, you will, or earned is another story, but we're not going to get into that right this second. You will be having your SSI for that particular month that you received that other income in the form of a gift reduced accordingly. Cash, is the obvious way income is received. However, income can be in a variety of other ways. And there's something called ISM, in-kind support and maintenance. In-kind means it's a thing and not the cash, basically. And it is unearned income. This is how they describe it. Unearned income in the form of food or shelter or both will be considered ISM and relevant to your SSI amount. There are other ways, by the way, to have income of sorts come in that does not count as ISM and is not cash, and therefore will not reduce your SSI as a matter of law. That's a whole nother thing to go into. But for our purposes here, cash or ISM, in-kind support and maintenance, meaning food, shelter, or both, if given to you, will reduce your SSI. Okay. So when we talk about food and shelter, you got to know that, for instance, shelter constitutes not just the roof over your head and the value of that. It also includes the basic utilities such as heat, water, electric, garbage disposal. If there's sewer, that would be in there as well. So when they talk about shelter and being gifted a piece of shelter, let's say someone's not giving you your shelter, but they're paying your electric bill. That's not going to work. That will be counted. So just know that shelter is a broad umbrella over all the things relevant to a basic, modest roof over one's head. So historically with shelter, and it gets a little complicated, but if you're not paying what they legally decide is your fair share of your shelter, then you are generally getting ISM, and they can deduct from your SSI benefits owed that month. So, I have other videos, I think, where we touched on the fact that there are other ways to help SSI folks. Family members can help them without paying the roof over their head or giving them cash. They have other bills, so maybe cover one of those that isn't going to, impact their SSI benefit. Okay, so they go on to say here that they use 2 rules to determine the value of the ISM that you are receiving, if you're receiving any. One, the value of the 1/3 reduction rule, and also the presumed maximum value rule. So I'm not going to get too heavy into the weeds with them, but if you generally, when you are not paying your fair share, they're going to reduce by 1/3, or they are going to reduce by the presumed maximum value rule, one way or another, unless you can show that you are paying your fair share. And again, this, the way you're going to have impact on your shelter is if you're living in another household and not paying your fair share, or you are living on your own, but someone is paying your shelter for you. So those are 2 things that you can really, really do a lot of things to avoid. There are ways to manage that and to negotiate those things so that's not happening. All completely, appropriate ways to do that. But in-kind support, food and shelter, or both, and also cash is out the door. But the ISM is the food, shelter, or both. So you got to really follow those rules. Okay, really, really big. It really, I talk to people a lot of the time about, stop taking as a gift your shelter. Start, get under a rental agreement with whoever it is, and start paying rent, owing rent. So even if you can't pay the full amount, you got a pending disability claim, you don't have the income right now. God, I really think I have a cold. You will be doing yourself in the end probably a favor if you just go into a rental arrangement. This is particularly true if you're living with family, I would say. Where nobody really thinks about it, but it'll be really important in order for you to collect your benefits without interruption or reduction. Okay, and that'll leave more for you to reasonably sustain yourself. All right, ISM guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.